This your lights, my Jeep. This your boy Doug 60 Gang. Way up here in ROCKMART, Georgia. Handling business. Headed to the cribbo. I'm glad I came early because it wasn't raining. Then it got here. Once I got here, it came down. So I know I missed a ton of accidents. Good morning to those who woke up with me today. Happy birthday to those born today, March 24th. This is your boy Doug 60 Gang, and I'm in the house. Allow. Put my money up. Withdraw. Wednesday. Use passcode. Done. All right, guys, we're going from ROCKMART, Georgia to and you can watch. These houses are brand new, and they all one level. Most of them, a lot of them, one level homes. New. Look at those. That's a one level. Oh, he got a basement, I think. Oh, these are nice. This is where Deshaun should have sent her mom. So having these houses right here, they cost about the same as the house she got. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is called ROCKMART, Georgia. I think that did it again.
Lefties losing it. Let's start, lefties, with the tragic fall of Bill Burr, a comedian who was once hilarious, unashamedly politically incorrect, and not scared to take on the left's groupthink. But sadly, a lefty wife and a severe case of TDS, well, it's reduced Bill Burr to a sad joke, a very unfunny sad joke. Watch him here on The View. Yes, The View. Here he had a golden opportunity to poke fun at these crazy, hysterical women, but instead he's joined their ranks and is railing against Elon Musk.
These tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women they're gonna take over the world. They're gonna take over. They are literally gonna replace us. We're like beta right now, and they're coming out with like the VCR. And I think Elon has got the rockets going because they realize there's other Earths out there, and they're gonna trash this one, and because they don't have any concern for it, and they're gonna move on to the next Earth.
Not sure that a billionaire with at least 7 baby mamas that we know of has any issues talking to hot women. He should probably be talking to less. But a great call there, Bill Burr. Remember when you were funny? I do.
Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it.
Yep, the WNBA and body positivity were favorite topics, and it was always funny.
Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God, that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great. That bikini, I would kill myself if I looked like that. You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing.
But now Bill Burr is just another lefty losing it, cheering on a murderer and railing against capitalism.
Some corporate had to give himself a bonus check at the end of the year. What if we made it but made it look the same?
Yeah.
Then could our pools be bigger? Free Luigi!
Where did the laughs go, Bill? Where did they go? But I've got to say, Bill Burr still has some ways to go to rival Rosie O'Donnell in the Loopy Stakes. Fresh from fleeing the US for Ireland, Rosie is now engaging in dangerous democracy denial and trying to start a conspiracy theory about the swing states and Elon Musk's influence.
I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet. So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported her, and Donald Trump was not able to do that. So it's curious to me, and as an American and a believer in democracy, I would hope that we would be able to look at all of the reasons why this happened.
I must have missed when Elon Musk owned and ran the internet. What is she on about? And you won't be shocked to learn that her circle is very small and very insular.
How do you think America has changed in the months since he's been elected?
Well, if you talk to any Americans, they're all in shock, or at least the ones that I know. I will have to say I don't really have many people in my life that support him. I don't really understand how people could support a convicted felon.
Let's go from Ireland to Britain now and hear from the UK delegate for the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women.
I'm actually going to be talking to you about my nipples. As an out and proud trans woman, I can tell you my nipples have been on quite the journey. Soon after starting HRT, my nipples became quite scandalous.
Now, talking about lefties losing it, remember this chat before the election featuring TDS duo actor Robert De Niro and TV host Bill Maher?
If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him. Take him at his word.
I did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I said from the very beginning, this guy is never going to concede power.
A dictatorship? Well, no one has come for Robert De Niro, and Bill Maher is still on TV. And now he will be meeting President Donald Trump at the White House. This has been set up by one of Maher's recent guests and one of Trump's friends, rock star Kid Rock. Let's bring in Newsweek's senior editor-at-large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel Josh Hammer. Josh, what do you think about this? I've got to say, I am not a fan of this plan.
Rita, I don't trust Bill Maher, to put it mildly. I mean, the same way that I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg and a lot of these California liberals who are increasingly in Donald Trump's good graces. Having said that, even though I don't trust him, I'm not sure that it's a politically bad move for Donald Trump. There's very little in the way of downside here. Frankly, there's only potential upside. I mean, Rita, before the election, you and I discussed how the 2024 election in America really did not come down necessarily to an ideological right versus an ideological left divide. Rather, you had the MAGA America First coalition, which is basically a nonpartisan coalition of the common sense. That's how you had so many prominent ex-Democrats, people like RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard there. And then on the other hand, you had the civilizational arsonists, the woke crazies there. Now, again, Bill Maher is a liberal. I disagree with him on more issues than I agree with him on there, but he is very anti-woke. There are some things that he's potentially amenable to the Trump administration's message on. And more importantly, he's got a massive audience. I mean, he has an absolutely massive audience. His show has won God knows how many Emmy Awards here in the United States. There, he has genuine reach there. Just kind of colloquially speaking, here in my circles, there, people watch his show. I mean, his message gets out there. So if Donald Trump can kind of bring him in, and if Bill Maher can at least become slightly less hysterically Trump derangement syndrome induced, I'm not getting my hopes up for that, by the way. But if there's any possibility of that happening there, seems like it's worth it to me. Again, I don't trust the guy there, but I see very little in the way of downside for this play.
I think he gets a golden run, Josh. Not only is Maher a TDS sufferer, I think he benefits from the bigotry of low expectations conservatives have these days for the left, because occasionally, yes, he'll say something that's anti-woke, he'll point out some sensible point of view, something the right has been saying for years, and we all stand around and clap like he's said something profound, even though it's really just repeating what has been said by the other side of politics for a long time. But as Megyn Kelly exposed in her chat with Maher, this dude is in a bubble, profoundly ignorant of stuff that he pretends to be passionate about, like election denial.
Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
She, first of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
Okay.
What do you say to that? Because, yes, amongst other left-wing commentators and TV hosts, he's far more sensible, far more balanced. But at the end of the day, he has bought all this propaganda about Trump and hasn't bothered to check some of that information, including things like things that have been debunked for years that the left still are pushing these to this day.
Rita, look, I am not a Bill Maher apologist. I'll be very candid with you. I don't even watch his show, actually. But having said that, I've had a number of friends here who have been on his show there. And I can tell you that based on what I've heard from those who have been there on the show with him, some of them have actually tried to talk in private off camera. I won't name names. I won't kind of get into that. But some of them have actually tried to talk about Trump with him off camera there. And they here, there, and everywhere hit a block, because he seems to just genuinely have a mental block when it comes to Donald Trump there. He has a very hard time getting over that. Even if he is sympathetic to a lot of his policies there, he's definitely sympathetic to a lot of what Trump says when it comes to the dangers of radical Islam. He's very pro-Israel. I mean, like free speech. I mean, there's some stuff that he genuinely seems to disagree with the modern left on, but he has a massive holdup when it comes to Donald Trump. That's probably what Donald Trump is thinking and taking this meeting, actually. He's like, okay, this guy's a massive critic of mine. He's got a gargantuan platform. Maybe I can bring him in and like, you know, let's get a McDonald's Happy Meal or something, and I'll show him like I'm not a fascist, that I'm not straight out of Munich in 1933 or something there. Again, maybe not the greatest odds in the world of succeeding there, but I'm just not necessarily seeing the downside here.
Oh, look, I think it has the potential to backfire, because yes, he does rail against the modern left occasionally, but that's because he realizes that it's stopping them from being elected. He wants the Democrats in power. He's a fan of Gavin Newsom, wants him to be president. So you look at what he's done to California. That's I've got my doubts about this. We're going to keep a close eye, but I've got a feeling this is going to backfire. Now let's talk about failed VP candidate Tim Walz. He's been forced to apologize, well, sort of, for this idiotic outburst.
They've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
Now here Tim Walz sort of apologizes, but then he mocks the right for being, and I quote, butthurt. This clown is all over the place.
This guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy, and but I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was they're all mad, and I, said something I didn't, probably shouldn't have about a company. He is. Agreed. They're all butthurt about the Tesla thing.
Josh, does he even realize that the fall in Tesla prices hurts the people in his state? Not to mention the tens of thousands of Americans that Tesla employs.
He probably does not actually realize that because he's not operating at a particularly high intelligence level, if I'm just calling it like I see it here. There actually are some moderate-ish Democrats who are not going like full, complete, utter, disgusting jerk when it comes to the issue of Tesla. So, for instance, Ro Khanna, who comes from Silicon Valley, he plays footsie with a lot of the big tech bigwigs. He had an interview this past week, Rita, where he said, I'm not rooting against Tesla. Tesla employs 20,000 people in my district. Okay, thank you for speaking some common sense there. But Tim Walz doesn't really know common sense from the other side of his foot there. I mean, this man speaks drivel, and when he's not speaking drivel, he's speaking far left ideological pablum there. Thank God this man is not the vice president of the United States right there. I mean, frankly, rooting for an iconic American company to fail in this manner, to root for people who are living off of their investment income, living off their capital gains, people who are in their 60s, 70s, who are retired, who are just living off of their dividends, whatever they're rooting for them to fail is nothing short of disgusting. It's not about Elon Musk. It actually is virtually nothing to do with Elon Musk. This company has a ton of employees, workers who work at the manufacturing mills, and you have investors there. So it's really about them. By the way, I have to say, it was not that long ago, I feel like it was basically yesterday, that Tesla was actually culturally here in America was largely a left-wing company. That was as recently as probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, before Elon Musk started making his turn towards the right. And it was considered to be a culturally left-wing company for a very obvious reason, is that it's an electric vehicle. It was considered to be the clean energy equivalent of the gas-guzzling pickup trucks from Ford and Chevy there. Heck, I remember in some of my conservative circles, just like during COVID 4 or 5 years ago, we were making fun of liberals for driving Teslas. So, I mean, how quickly things change there. I don't personally drive a Tesla. I happen to think that it's wonderful technology. Not really my cup of tea, to be honest with you. But the point is, this is an American company that has American employees and employs a lot of Americans, including right there in Tim Walz's state of Minnesota. And you have a lot of people that are dependent upon Tesla stock going up and up and up, as the underlying value of the company should dictate that it will do, to actually live out the rest of their lives. So shame on you, Tim Walz, and thank God, sir, that you are not vice president of this great country.
I think he's the worst vice presidential candidate we have seen. I struggle to think of anybody who has been more disastrous, just more bizarre, more out of touch. And he's the governor of Minnesota. Minnesota state employees have Tesla shares in their pension funds. So if he's cheering on the fall in share prices, he knows it's hurting them, or he at least should know. Now, talking about Elon Musk, he's had enough. He has said that he's suing CNN after a panelist, Jamal Bowman, called him a thief and a Nazi.
He's incompetent, he's a thief, he's a Nazi, and people don't trust him.
I'm not a lawyer, you are a lawyer, but that looks like a slam dunk defamation case if Elon follows through.
So the guy he's talking to there, Joe Borelli, is a personal friend. Joe Borelli is from Staten Island. He's a no-nonsense New Yorker, and I wish we saw the rest of that clip, Rita, because I know that Joe Borelli probably socked Jamal Bowman, proverbially speaking, right across the face. Look, Jamal Bowman lost his primary in New York City for being a genuine moron, two, for just being as ideologically left-wing as they come, someone who was basically openly cheering on October 7th Hamas. I mean, I'm barely exaggerating there. Someone who has taken every radical defund the police, open borders, defund ICE, every left-wing lunatic stance imaginable, that guy has taken there. Now, when you're calling someone a Nazi here, look, the technical legal standard, and by the way, this is made up, the Supreme Court made this up, this is not what the First Amendment actually says. But in a 1960s case called New York Times versus Sullivan, the Supreme Court basically said that when you have a defamation suit involving a public figure, with which Elon Musk clearly is, then the burden of proof would be on the public figure, and here that's Elon Musk, to show that the person saying it, that's Jamal Bowman, acted with actual malice. That's the legal standard, actual malice. So look, you definitely, it's possible. It's absolutely possible in this particular case. There, you would definitely need some evidence and get to a jury. It would be a whole process there. If you're Elon Musk and you're the wealthiest guy in the world, what do you have to lose by bringing this lawsuit there? You're not worried about attorney fees or anything like that. Go ahead and do it. Send a message to these thugs. Rita, Jamal Bowman's a thug. These people are bullies. The people that are coming across Elon Musk. The only way to deal with a bully, whether it's on a playground in a kindergarten or whether it's on a CNN set, the way you deal with a bully is that you can't just cower in the corner and just let the bully punch you. You have to stand up for yourself and start throwing some punches back there. So if that means Elon Musk file a defamation suit, I say Godspeed and go for it.
Now, Donald Trump got a huge reception over the weekend when he attended the packed Wells Fargo Center arena for the NCAA Wrestling Championships. I had no idea this was such a big deal. The crowd there was huge, and he got a salute from Wyatt Hendrickson, who won the national championship.
Captain America. Captain America. Rob, I can't believe it. My jaw's on the floor. He did it.
And he got a hug there from the champion as well. And we don't see that at sporting events. We've certainly seen it at the UFC. We've seen it at the football. Trump, as much as he is hated by the media and they tell us the polls are against him, when he goes to these sporting events, you're hearing cheers, and that is not normal. Normally, the fans are booing politicians.
Yeah, and he's done this many times now, right? So he actually went to the first NASCAR race of the season, the Daytona 500, which is called the Great American Race there.
Too, yeah.
He got a massive round of applause there at the Daytona 500. He went to the Alabama-Georgia football game this past year, the Army-Navy football games. Everywhere he goes to these big sporting games, he gets a massive round of applause. He's become the modern-day Barack Obama insofar as he's the new cultural totem. He's the new cultural icon. Back in 2008, all the cultural momentum in this country was with hope and change and Barack Obama. The cultural momentum right now is with MAGA, and America First. It's an absolutely incredible sea change. The Democratic Party, frankly, only has themselves to blame for it as their approval ratings crater into the 20s. The most recent polling has their net approval rating hovering around 27 to 29% or so. So they only have themselves to blame for it there. All Donald Trump basically has to do is get up there and sound normal and talk about normal issues and talk about trying to solve normal people's problems in a normal way there. You know, maybe insert a funny joke here or there. He's very good at that. He's a very funny guy. And then you have a recipe for being a smashing success in today's day and age in America, and that's what he's done.
Well, that's what we are seeing. The media is still having its meltdown. The American public seem to be pretty comfortable with what's happening. Josh Hammer, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Rita.
There you go, tucked in there.
Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Dallas, thank you so much and welcome back to Eye on Pop.
So,
Don Lemon.
I want to get into Fannie Willis update. So Fannie Willis is ordered to pay $54,000 for violating the Open Records Act, and of course she will not be paying it. That will be the taxpayers. So.
No, somebody needs to file an injunction, which they can do, and demand that she pay it since it's personal to her, not her office, so she doesn't get out of it easy. See, if that has been the case, there's no deterrent factor because the perpetrator doesn't get stuck with any penalty at all. They're getting their salary for defending or prosecuting, and it doesn't hurt them when they violate. This penalty should be toward the perpetrator, not to the office. So somebody needs to say, you bet not touch a dime. That would be misappropriation of public funds, and that's criminal.
Right. Because the taxpayer should not be on the hook to pay her legal fees for her, because she's the one who broke the law. So the district attorney Fannie Willis' office must fork over $54,000 in legal fees after a Georgia judge found it was openly hostile to a lawyer in a Trump election interference case. Criminal defense lawyer Ashley Merchant, who represents Trump co-defendant Mike Roman and blew the whistle on Willis' affair with her lead prosecutor in the case, won the judgment against Fannie Willis' office in Fulton County. Now, this is the second open record violation case that Fannie Willis' office lost, because she was ordered to pay $22,000 back in January. So Merchant claimed in her lawsuit that the office stonewalled her request for records the public has a right to access. So it says, why it matters. The Georgia Senate Special Committee on Investigations, chaired by Republican Bill Colzer, was created in, maybe I'm reading something different here. So now Fannie Willis is saying she will release documents on the Trump case to the Georgia Republicans, because that was a lawsuit of the open records that she lost. But at the same time, she is under investigation with the Georgia Senate Committee. And what they want, because she ignored the subpoenas twice, they want her to come up and testify and to fork over the Trump case documents. And now she's saying she's willing to give it to them.
Yeah, somebody told her about the law that she's supposed to be in charge of enforcing.
So, why it matters. The Georgia Senate Special Committee on Investigation, chaired by Bill Colzer, was created in 2024 to look into Willis' alleged misconduct during her investigation in the 2020 presidential election. Willis has previously resisted the committee's effort to subpoena documents and testimony.
Somebody advised her that, look, one of the things that state legislative committee can do is have the sergeant at arms for the state senate physically arrest her and bring her in custody before them. That's one of the three remedies. The other one is go through circuit court, which has been partially done, and the third one is to employ sanctions against Fulton County by withholding money until there's a compliance. So somebody said, hey, they can go cuff you up.
So the last time we talked about it, was talking about another judge, Shakura L. Ingram, in her order last month. She's quoted saying, if every time a subpoena is issued by a special committee, a recipient can simply litigate its validity enforcement until the General Assembly reconstitutes, and then they have to start over. This would be an absurd result indeed. So Counsel of Willis asks Ingram to enter the next order as a final order of final judgment, signifying that the case could be coming to a close. But Wednesday's filing said that both sides have conferred and agreed that the documents the committee seeks do not fall within attorney-client, work product, or other privileged communications, which would be exempt from disclosure.
Hell no, they don't. They involve the expenditure of tax dollars allocated by the Senate and the House on the state level. So they're certainly entitled to see what happened to it.
Right. So
to the dollars there.
So here's the thing. Will we see Fannie Willis in front of the Georgia committee?
Yeah. Like I said, if they subpoena her and she ignores it, they can have the sergeant at arms physically arrest her and bring her forth. She can take the Fifth Amendment when she gets there, but otherwise she's got to testify and provide the documents. And the documents, since they're subject to the Open Records Act, she can't claim any proprietary interest in them. And they can be redacted if they deal with any ongoing criminal investigation, which they do not. That's just dodge for the ignorant public to go, oh, they're picking on the sister. No, they're not. She's sitting there exploiting you, and your tax dollars went into the mix. And she and Mr. Wade allegedly were engaged in a scheme to fleece the taxpayers for millions of dollars in fees that would have been split without detection had she not foolishly taken herself up there and testified.
So back in January, again, she was ordered to pay $22,000 in legal fees to a conservative watchdog after a Georgia court found that she flatly ignored open records requests submitted by the organization. The group Judicial Watch submitted an Open Records Act ORA request to Fulton County in August of 2023, seeking communications Willis had with special counsel Jack Smith and the House panel investigating January 6, 2021 riot in the U.S. Capitol. So a total of $76,000 that taxpayers have to pay as far as paying back legal fees to these.
And she's got a bigger problem. When the client consists of the people, or the clients of the DA's office consist of the people of the state, then the attorney, meaning the Attorney General, her, has a duty to confer with the people. And when the people demand documents relative to their representation, then she can't claim the fifth on them. They go over, and I think she's going to be winding up in front of a grand jury someplace, federal and or state. And I think she's going to be removed from office.
Yeah. So.
And she might even get some jail time or suspended sentence with the state, but the feds, I think, probably will have her on somebody's military or air base doing light time, but still under restriction. And they might do it under Homeland Security, which would be interesting. So that's what they did to Diddy and some other folks, so that they could be kept incommunicado, which would be cute.
Mo3 was born on the 31st of May 1992 in McKinney, Texas, before moving to North Dallas, where he was brought up. Make no mistake, life growing up in North Dallas wasn't easy for Mo3 and his family. After the departure of his father from the family home, his mother would raise the children alone, with Mo3 coming up on a diet of noodles, or often no food at all. At times, Mo3 and his family would even find themselves homeless with nowhere to sleep, resorting to charging their phones at the corner store. But Mo3's mother was a generous woman in the community, and apparently she would frequently invite kids in the neighborhood who couldn't go back to their family home to stay with them, with Mo3 and his brother having to fight over food and a spot to sleep in his own family home.
I got partners that my mama raised in the same house, like kids in the neighborhood that ran away from home, they end up at Mo3 house. Even though this my house, like some of my partners will beat me to my house before I get there. They done already ate. They done already got their spot in the bed and everything. I gotta sleep on the floor. I gotta sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So.
Despite the generosity in this household, in school, Mo3 couldn't afford books and suffered bad grades and bullying due to his shabby clothes. But Mo3 was a hustler, and he would get jobs at a young age to help his mother financially, eventually deciding to pursue a path as a rapper after high school. But making something of himself would not be easy, coming up in some of the harshest streets of Dallas. Much like the nickname Chirac given to the gang-infested hoods of Chicago, where the violence is considered nearly as bad as the military conflicts going on in Iraq, Mo3 claimed that the area of North Dallas where he grew up to be similarly dangerous, earning it the nickname Northghanistan.
So you grew up in Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. North Dallas?
Yeah, in Afghanistan, as far as line I did.
Growing up in Northghanistan, it's no wonder that Mo3 became acquainted with the streets at an early age, stealing his first gun from his cousin at the young age of 12 and beginning to stick people up.
I had my first gun, I was 12.
Okay.
25 with no clip. He ain't have a clip to it. I'm toting it. I'm thugging though, like I'm hopping out. No clip.
Just one in the chamber.
Yeah, ain't nothing like I stole the gun from my cousin. I'm not thinking about you supposed to have bullets to the gun. You need the clip for the gun to work. I'm just thinking at the time I'm 12 years old, walking around the neighborhood with a gun.
Fortunately, he wasn't able to get his hands on any ammunition at this point, but eventually he would get caught with that gun by his mother. And from here, Mo3 would go on to face his first aggravated robbery charge at just age 14. And he would continue to be in trouble with the law throughout his teens, claiming to have been through every correctional facility Dallas has ever built.
Did you ever get caught with it?
Yeah, my mama called. Man, somebody seen me with it. Police came and took the goddamn gun, had it in the goddamn Ziploc bag, like so. I caught my first aggravated robbery at 14. I've been on paper since 2006. I went through all the juvenile programs. I've been getting locked up since I was 13, 14. So like, I went through every correctional facility Dallas ever built.
Throughout Mo3's teenage years, he would continue to have trouble, whether in juvenile detention centers or on the streets, even telling DJ Vlad in an interview that he can't even remember how many shootouts he's been in since he was 15.
I mean, if you were to count how many shootouts you've been in, and I don't care about the actual situation, but if you were to say how many times were you in an area where bullets are flying around you?
Shootouts I was 15, so too many. No, I've been in shootouts since I was 15. Let's stay up there. It's a lot.
You actually never got hit though?
Nah, thank God.
Mo3 would continue to catch cases and affiliate with local gangs, at some point becoming affiliated with the 5'9" bounty hunter Bloods, or 282, a blood gang set originally starting in Watts, Los Angeles, eventually making its way to Texas cities like Houston and Dallas, with Mo3 shouting out his gang in songs and interviews and frequently wearing red bandanas.
Salute me, man. 282, bounty hunter blood gang, man. Yeah, talk about real life hitters. They just real life hitters, man. You know what I'm saying? They just him, man. Real talk. He squad, man. Mafioso.
HSM would eventually become the name of his record label, but more on that later. Mo3 would tell Vlad TV that he eventually caught a big adult charge at the age of 17. 4 counts of aggravated robbery.
I caught 4 of them at 17. 4 aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. I went to TDC. First adult charge.
And to make matters worse, Mo3's mother attempted to put her own money up for lawyers' fees, ultimately losing everything in her fight for her son's freedom.
Lost everything. House, car, everything. She was living with my auntie. My mom used to say, I'm gonna lose my job. And I ain't understand it until she was like, every time a school called me or every time somebody called me and say, your son in jail, I gotta immediately get up and leave work. It really didn't hit me till I got in the cell.
Mo3 was initially facing a potential 45-year sentence, but in the end he would wind up getting 10, doing only 2 before being released on probation.
You managed to get 45 down to 2.
Yeah, 10. I did 2 on the 10. You signed for 10-year sentence, came home on good behavior on the 2.
But it was during this stint in prison that Mo3 would settle on the career path that would eventually make him a star, revealing to Adam22 in a No Jumper interview that his father had visited him in jail, telling him that he should rap about his experiences in the streets rather than continuing to live the life of crime.
When you get out, instead of doing what you're doing, rap about it. Rap about it, what you mean? Put your life in the music. Rap about it. You ain't got to do it no more. Just rap about it. It's better to rap about it than do it, because you ain't hurting nobody.
Mo3 was a natural rapper and singer, but until this point he had never even considered a career in music as a serious prospect. He would sing in church as a child, but ultimately got too wrapped up in the streets as a teenager to take music seriously.
My mama had me in the church. Like, my daddy had been rapping. My mama was singing. So it's like, it's our natural, like from the go, like way before we got in the studio. I used to want to be the hot boys when I was little, you know what I'm saying, like Cash Money. But I ain't, that's when I was little, you get what I'm saying? But like, when I grew up, by the time I hit 14, I don't know, I was out here in the streets, so it was like all that was fantasy.
But fortunately, after nearly losing 45 years to the streets, and with his father's wise words in his ear, Mo3 would get out of jail and begin taking a career in the rap game seriously, beginning to record early music and mixtapes that would eventually make him one of the most famous names to come out of the city of Dallas. And it was around 2014 that Mo3 began picking up attention, both from fans and from former enemies in the streets. One of Mo3's earliest songs in the rap game came out on the 14th of August 2013 on the HSM or Hit Squad Music YouTube channel. This was a track called Hold Your Tongue, a remix of Texas rapper Mr. Lucci's song Half Steppin'. This was an incredible debut, with Mo-Case showcasing his versatility straight out the gate, crooning a catchy sung chorus and then hitting the listener with a lyrical onslaught in the rapped verses. But of course the subject matter of the song couldn't be ignored either, and Mo3 was clearly taking his father's advice on board, filling the track with references to the gun-toting street life and singing on the chorus for his enemies to hold their tongue, because if they say something Mo3 doesn't like, you might just lose your life. This was a strong start to a career as a gangster rapper, and from here Mo3 would continue grinding, singing and rapping about his life in the streets, which was a much better option than actually getting caught up in them. Eventually Mo3 was ready to drop a video for his breakout track, and the video for Hold Your Tongue would be released, this time using the visuals as well as the lyrics to paint a picture of life in the mean streets of Dallas, with Mo3 appearing in an intro where him and the HSM crew kidnap an op and are seen holding them hostage in a house. In addition to these scenes straight up out of a gangster movie, the video would also be filled with stylish shots of Mo3 and his homies riding around the city in donks and lowriders. And of course he had his goons toting a whole bunch of guns in the video too. Mo3's career was off to a good start and everyone could see the talent and potential. In fact, Mo3 claimed that as soon as he recorded the song, the producer knew they had a hit and was pushing him to record even more.
I said, bro, just do it. He made that. I went in there and spit that. But like, bro, you cold. You ice. Like, you know what I'm saying? What else can I make for you? There me and him be at the relationship right there. What else can I make for you? So boom, like after that, it started circulating, man.
And so Mo3 would go on to record song after song, eventually releasing his debut mixtape Shotters on the 3rd of September 2014, inspired by the 2002 Jamaican gangster epic of the same name, which Mo3 says is his favourite movie. Shotters was a 20-track lyrical onslaught from Mo3 where he raps all about the drug dealing and gun-toting life that he has lived on the streets of Dallas. And at this point he was building up a big reputation in the city as one of the big street rappers on the rise to watch out for. But it would be his next release that would truly put him on the map and on the charts, as his next release, Shotters Reloaded, coming out on the 20th of November 2015 on the HSM YouTube channel, and later getting an official commercial release on the 5th of April 2016, would include Mo3's next breakout song, All the Way Down, which got its own music video on June the 30th, 2015. Yet another great example of Mo3's versatility on the mic. He would sing on the chorus about the struggles that he had to go through to keep the lights on and feed his family, then launching into a verse where he swings effortlessly from singing notes about shooters having Rugers to rapping about the haters in his city beginning to target him. Mo3 was beginning to get recognition in his city and from the country as a whole. Shotters Reloaded went on to peak at number 23 on the Billboard R&B and Hip Hop Albums charts, staying on that chart for 26 weeks. And Mo3 would admit himself that this was the project that put him on the map, with most of his fans seeing this as his first real project in the rap game.
But Shotters Reloaded is what broke everything, like, so people take like Shotters Reloaded, they look at that like that's the first one. You know what I mean? That's the second one. You know what I'm saying? So
by this point, Mo3 was making big money off the rap game, taking to social media to show off his cars, guns, and money.
Big phone with him, you understand me? Yeah. Panoramic roofs, you know, panoramic roofs. I got Sam Cole. Yeah, man, quit playing, man. This is how we really living, man. You know, big money, big everything, yeah. Big diamond, big rolling, big jewels. Y'all walk in my house, see me, man. Y'all walk in my house, I see me, man. Quit playing, man. You look real good, man. My view look real good, man. My view look real good, man.
Clearly Mo3 was grinding and making a name for himself on the Dallas rap scene. And while the charts and the fans were beginning to take notice, so too were the streets. As Mo3 would later tell DJ Vlad that his enemies from the streets started hating on him when he started making it in rap, suggesting that they thought it would be easy to bring their street feuds into the rap game.
That I used to get into when I was right here at this level. Even when that beef was dead, once I got here, they just restarted it all over again. You know what I'm saying? This was a perfect time for them to for them to be on. This was a perfect time for them to be heard, and you know, and it was like easy. It was right up their alley. Like we done already beat from Mo3 before when he was just that Mo3. It ain't gonna be hard. You get what I'm saying? Like,
whilst Mo3's impressive versatility on the mic made him one of the most buzzing artists in the Dallas rap scene, he wasn't the only one. Sadly, it's often the case in rap that when two big artists come out of the same city, rather than getting along and lifting their city up musically together, often there emerges a bitter rivalry and battle over the top spot in that respective city. And when it comes to Dallas, the other big name that rings bells in the city is Yella Beezy. Born and raised in Oak Cliff, Dallas, an area with a dark history of murder, with it actually being the area where JFK's assassin Lee Harvey Oswald Griswold lived and planned the murder, Beasy would come up in these troubled streets, later telling Adam 22 in a No Jumper interview that he was a troubled kid who couldn't do anything right until he found his calling in rap music.
So you were getting in trouble a lot while you were young, or?
Yeah, I did.
Anything in particular?
Everything. I was getting kicked out of school like it, 7th, 8th grade. That's why I feel like the music part was my calling, cause like I couldn't do nothing else. Right, but music at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yella Beezy had it hard coming up too. When he was just age 12, his father was murdered outside their family home on Mother's Day, with him revisiting the scene of that killing in a harrowing 2019 documentary for XXL.
Right here, this the house when my daddy got killed at. I was 12. I was turning 13 that October. And she was like, something happened to your daddy. Yes, crept up behind and hit him up. And like he was like laying, I think they say he was laying like on his back with his legs up type. I be replaying that night in my head like all the time. It's like my first time ever just getting out at this motherfucker since then.
As a teenager, after the killing of his father, Beasy got involved in the streets and became affiliated with local Rollin' 60s Crip gangs, another gang originating in Los Angeles and eventually spreading to the streets of Dallas. As he got older, Beasy would end up working in the drug trade to provide for his family after the loss of his father. But since finding his calling in the rap game, he would find an alternative route to the money that his family needed to survive. And at just 13, Beasy would begin rapping after being inspired by Baton Rouge rappers Boosie Badass and Kevin Gates. Yella Beezy would release his first mixtape at just age 14, titled Mash Mode Overload. And in 2012, he would drop his second mixtape, Lil Yella Mane. From here, he would continue grinding and dropping freestyles like this 2014 freestyle on Say Cheese. But he would land his first hit in the rap game in 2015 with the track Trappin' Designer. Beasy claimed in a XXL interview that Dallas is a fashion city, and the concept of a song all about designer clothes appealed to the many fashionable hustlers in the city of Dallas. Trappin' Designer would end up on his 2017 mixtape, Broke Nights, Rich Days. But it didn't come along with a music video, and despite catching a little buzz on Dallas radio and in the clubs, it would be Beasy's next single, That's On Me, that would make him a star in Dallas and the whole of America. Recorded in March 2017 but released in October, Yella Beezy later told Adam 22 on No Jumper that he threw out the song with a basic music video and the city threw their support behind him and the song.
So when That's On Me came out, did you like release it as a single? You knew that was a special song?
I actually just threw it out there because I thought it was another song on my tape that was going to do it because it had like more club energy.
Right, because I was reading about how it kind of popped off on the radio before it popped off on streaming services.
Yeah.
How did that work out? That's very rare now.
It was like everybody was trying to team up or just trying to help each other to get somebody to the next level, you know what I'm saying?
Dallas radio stations would put Yella Beezy's song in rotation, pushing him as the next hometown hero, and this would work. The video for That's On Me Today sits over 20 million views, and the song eventually spent 20 weeks on the Billboard charts, peaking at number 56. Helped in no small part by the all-star remix of the track, which came out and racked up a staggering 272 million YouTube views. There's a few more important people to discuss before we talk about the beef between Mo3 and Yella Beezy, because there's several other neutral parties that will play a big role in this story. Sean Cotton from Say Cheese, for example, a prolific interviewer who would essentially become the DJ Vlad or Zach TV of Dallas, interviewing both sides of the beefing local rap scene and inadvertently getting right in the middle of the feud, eventually even picking up the attention of the local media for giving a voice to the gang members coming out of his city.
A Fort Worth man is making a living going into neighborhoods most find unsafe to tell stories about gang life. Sean Cotton runs the YouTube channel Say Cheese TV and regularly visits high crime neighborhoods looking for stories about street gangs and gang affiliated rappers. 28-year-old quit his $7 per hour job cleaning refrigerators 6 years ago to document gang life, and now he makes up to $15,000 a month with his YouTube channel. He also has deals with advertisers and rap labels through his work on Instagram. But danger is part of the job. Cotton wears a bulletproof vest and got a license to carry after a well-known Chicago blogger, Zach Stoner, was killed doing the same work just last year.
My weird, for safety reasons, after my homie Zach TV, got killed, I kind of took in consideration to be more safe when I'm out in, poverty areas doing interviews.
Cotton says that he gives rappers like 30 Rich the chance to change the narrative about his lifestyle, and he provides an unfiltered look at how life and rap music can intersect in the toughest neighborhoods in our country. Critics, though, say these types of videos glorify gang violence, but Cotton says the rewards outweigh the risks.
Sean Cotton would actually say himself in an interview with Boss Talk 101 that he came up with the likes of Mo 3, Yella Beezy, and Trap Boy Freddy.
Mo 3, yeah, Mo 3, Yella, and all the stuff that happened with Trap Boy and all that. Every time I would hear about that, I would hear Sean Cotton is the one that was in the middle of that.
No, it was because I came up with all three of them. So you got to understand.
And I remember that. I remember you the only one that interviewed them. That I really can think of.
I would interview somebody, and then they'd be like, "No, that's not true. Let me get an interview. Let me tell my piece." And that's how it really came about.
Essentially, Sean Cotton, in an attempt to put the spotlight on the rappers coming up in his city, may have accidentally given them an outlet to air out their grievances with each other. Starting out in the early days with a nasty habit of frequently asking Texas rappers to name the top 5 rappers in their area.
Overall, your favorite top 5 Dallas street artists right now? Freddie, Lowe's, Libido, K-Rilla, the Potato Pillar, my mother Soda, my mother Fat Pimp. You know? Shout out to man. You'll be blowing up your phone after this joint. I ain't worried about it. But I call my phone though.
In the beginning, there wasn't as much tension between the rappers in the city. Mo 3, Yella Beezy, and Trap Boy Freddy had been seen in pictures together, seemingly on good terms before things took a turn for the worst. And Mo 3 told Sean Cotton that Freddy was someone from the streets that he felt close enough to talk with at this period.
Freddy, like, you know what I'm saying? No, I chop it over my, like, off the rap, you know what I'm saying? Off the radar, they rap, you know what I'm saying? Really around, so that's the only really that can get in there, yo, and we gonna really, you know what I'm saying, get in there and come up with something, you know, no charge added type.
It seemed like only when some of the biggest names in Dallas had emerged from the streets, beginning to get fame and fortune and radio play, that the tension begun to rise. Mo 3 would claim that his fame in the rap game caused a lot of people to bring their old beefs from the streets into the record industry. Meanwhile, Go Yayo had claimed that when he blew up in music, other people in his city got hypnotized with hatred.
I'm going to school and we used to be real close to where real beef now just because you still stuck in the one situation, but I'm in the same city, but I'm living like this and I'm doing this.
This is actually a line that Southern rap legend Boosie, with close ties to the Dallas rap scene, would famously say to DJ Vlad, suggesting that when rappers get famous, the biggest haters come from their own native city.
Wherever you from, you will get hated the most. You know, most rappers die in their own city. It's a fact.
And ironically, Boosie himself would even find himself right in the middle of the Dallas rap beef too. Things were good at the start, with Boosie sharing the stage with local rap stars like Mo 3 and Go Yayo. Boosie was really looking at Dallas as a potent talent pool where he might sign artists. Boosie would even appear in an early Mo 3 vlog, meeting him at a meet and greet and expressing interest in signing him.
Oh, that's TQ, tell me you want to sign, Say you gonna make me some money. No, my big brother say you selling out shows around here. I gotta check you out, man. I gotta check. Let's get us a flick, man. I ain't heard, TQ called me and they say do open it up for you. You thinking about a sign?
It ain't nobody.
Yeah. That's what I need. I need me an artist from Dallas. When I ain't getting the money, he can be getting all the money.
I'm trying to sit down real stupid.
All the way. All the way.
Gangland.
Yeah, they say selling out show. My brother called me phone like, from Dallas, man. He got no love. Yeah, man. So I'm be checking him out tonight. I'm gonna get this nigga everybody. We might be signing this.
This moment clearly meant a lot to Mo 3, who had previously called Boosie one of his favorite people to emerge from the rap game.
Growing up, Boosie was your favorite rapper.
He's still my favorite rapper.
Still your favorite rapper.
He's my favorite rapper. He's my favorite street. He's my favorite person. He's not a rapper.
And after making a personal connection with Boosie Badass, Mo 3 would begin to refer to himself as Mo 3 Badass, with the name appearing in an alternative cover art to his breakout mixtape Shotters Reloaded. And from there, continuing to release music with Boosie's blessing, like his next project, 4 Indictments, which would feature a collaboration between the two, the track What She Said, an explicit thug love anthem, which I have no doubt had the ladies of Dallas's panties thoroughly moistened. I've heard Boosie Cologne has the same effect. Anywho, while Mo3 is developing his career and forging deep ties with the rap legend Boosie Badass, Yella Beezy is pushing his forward too. Off the back of his street hit Trap in Designer, he was picking up some buzz, playing shows and doing interviews. And of course checking in with Sean Cotton on his channel, Say Cheese, to reveal his top 5 Dallas rappers at the time too, naming himself, Trapboy Freddy, Go Yayo, Lil Ronnie, and Mo3 in his top 5.
There's no reason why you shouldn't. When coming to this city, bro, I bet you I'm one of the names they gonna talk about when they speak on the city.
Yella Beezy, give me your top 5.
Freddy, Ye, you said DFW or just DFW? Lil Yayo, Mo3, and I can't forget Lil Ronnie. Right.
Clearly at this point he had a lot of respect for his Texas rap peers, but the rap game is competitive, and clearly Yella Beezy saw himself as a first among equals. He was later seen in vlogs outside shows in September 2016, saying that this is his city.
If y'all don't know, traveling around, y'all already know how we doing, you know what I'm saying, man? I'll flip them up around here. Yella Beezy, man, we in here, man. Y'all see what this my city, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'll flip them up, that means that stand on that, man, for real.
Beezy was still a few months away from dropping his monster hit That's On Me, but through to the end of 2016 he would continue pushing his music forward, dropping his Light Work mixtape on the 7th of October 2016, which included the hit track Going Through Some Things, which sits at 50 million views on YouTube today, with the track including lyrics where Yella Beezy says that people in his city are hating on him because his team are on the rise. The Light Work mixtape was followed by Broke Nights Rich Days on February the 3rd, 2017, and going into 2017 it seemed that everybody in the Dallas rap scene was beginning to see success. Gangsta Love, Mo3's latest mixtape with a female focus, released on Valentine's Day 2017, even coming along with a feature called Gangsta with Trapboy Freddy. And the month after this released, it was announced that Mo3 Badass had signed a full-blown record deal with Epic Records. Mo3 was on his way to the top of the rap game and becoming a household name in Dallas. But behind the scenes, there had been some tension brewing. On May the 2nd, 2017, Mo3 appears in a Say Cheese interview, claiming to have had a misunderstanding with Yella Beezy, but suggesting that they're cool now after having met up and had a discussion.
Yeah, Yella Beezy, y'all cool. Yeah, he cool, you know what I'm saying? We had a misunderstanding. You know, it can be miscommunication a lot of times. You know, sure was said, he says, I said something, but once we pulled up, I told him pull up on me. I was in the cliff one day. I just got back from Atlanta with Boosie. And I told him when I get back, come holler at me. He pulled up on me at Motown, you know, we chopped it up. We just got a whole bunch of misunderstood out the way, you know, they did.
Mo3 would go on to say that him and his homies play Connect 4 and bet big money on it, suggesting that he had taken Trapboy Freddy for a large amount gambling.
Anyone want to see me in Connect 4, we bet big money, like now, real talk. $500 bet, $1,000 games, you know what I'm saying? Ask Freddy, man.
Say Cheese would also ask Mo3 about his top 5 rappers in the city, and he just puts himself straight at number 1, no discussion.
If top 5 in the city, what would you rate yourself at right now?
Number 1.
Okay.
I ain't taking nothing else from nobody else. I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, I'll give you the view of the Dallas artists, and they say they cool right now.
Nah, I understand, but you know, numbers don't lie. Yeah, man.
At this point, the beef is beginning to spiral out of control, with Mo3 running around seemingly pulling up on people and dragging the local OGs into the drama, seemingly completely unafraid of what the consequences might be. But strangely, awfully silent during this period was Yella Beezy, who decided to remain behind the scenes and not take the bait, moving in silence, focusing for the time being on his buzzing music career, and the following month dropping one of the biggest songs that he had released to date. And from there, it wouldn't take long for another clash to pop off with Mo3, this time with the police getting involved. Following his recovery, the first big single that Yella Beezy dropped was the smash hit Back At It Again on March the 15th, 2019, with this track coming with big features from the likes of Quavo of the Migos and Gucci Mane. And a music video came out the following month, which to date has racked up close to 80 million views. This song would land on the Billboard Hot 100 charts too, peaking at number 78, and by the end of the year it was even certified gold. But the track also had some cryptic lyrics that referenced the Tollway shooting and the beef in his city, with Yella Beezy rapping, "Last month I got shot, I've been went up on features, body for body, my dudes are some demons, we tit for tat, leave you busted and bleeding." This track was from his 2019 mixtape Back End Beezy, which also featured the track Restroom Occupied featuring Chris Brown. And despite the tension and close brush with death, by this point it seemed as if Yella Beezy was truly back at it again and taking his career to brave new heights. Meanwhile, Trapboy Freddy was goading the opposition too, showing off a newly renovated Sprinter bus following Mo3's allegations of somebody having had their Sprinter shot up. In June 2019, Mo3 would release his new video video for the track Alter Ego, aka Mo3 versus Osama. And this song would see Mo3 introduce the world to his new alter ego, Osama 3 Laden. Yeah, that's really what he called himself. Along with revealing his provocative, iced out Osama pistol chain that he would become synonymous with. This song would see Mo3 rapping back and forth between his two alter egos, Mo3 and Osama 3 Laden, his evil side, an apparent body-catching demon. Clearly Mo3 didn't mind playing the villain in his city, to the point where he would nickname him after one of the most hated terrorists in American history. And with that mindset, it's really no surprise that things would pop off once again between these Dallas rappers, with the next clash happening in July 2019, when allegedly a promoter attempted to book Mo3 and Yella Beezy to play the same concert, the 2019 Unruly Citizens Festival at the Ford Center. Mo3 would arrive to perform, being told by police he would not be allowed to enter the venue where Yella Beezy was, ultimately leading to him being arrested, with Mo3 broadcasting his own arrest on IG Live.
What's your first name, sir? Melvin Nova.
No balls?
N-O-B-L-E.
Hey, what's your birthday?
May 31st.
May 31st?
1992.
That's your real birthday?
Hey, I'm on the show, bro. I ain't did nothing. I'm on the show.
Stay right there.
I ain't did nothing.
You're not in the show, dude.
Huh?
You're not in the show.
When? Since when?
You got canceled.
I ain't know that, sir.
Mo3 would be escorted from the venue in handcuffs, later taking to social media to mock the police and Yella Beezy for having him removed from the show, and suggesting that a flyer that had both Mo3 and Yella Beezy's names on it had been taken down from the internet, leading some skeptics to suggest that Mo3 was never booked to perform there at all.
I ain't going in the show if he in the building. I ain't gonna do the show if he's still here. I told y'all it was a problem. My son feared for his safety. Y'all need to get him out of here. Okay, we're gonna hit him with trespassing. Okay, we're gonna hit him with trespassing.
Cancel.
I can't find anything playing
Cancel.
right now.
I ain't on the show. Since when I ain't on the show? My name on the flyer. Oh, they took all the flyers down out their page. So now people say he was never on the show, folks. I ain't got no beef and no rap. I don't know what y'all talking about. I came here to do a show. But they told us, we see you on the premises, gonna get you up out of here. Who told y'all that? Blake, you told me that Dallas gang unit called and said, y'all gotta take Mo3 off the show because he's a gang member. I thought whatchamacallit was neighborhood. I thought he was rolling 60 Crip. That don't make no sense, man. Come on, y'all killing me with these lies, man. Y'all sit there and book me for the show. Had all my people and fans buy tickets. I wasn't even there 20 minutes.
Now, various versions of the flyer with Mo3's name have been posted online, but Yella Beezy himself would also claim that this was a fake flyer, suggesting that Mo3 cannot get booked anywhere or make money like him, suggesting that Mo3's whole narrative of getting thrown out of the show was fake, basically suggesting that the whole arrest was just a gimmick to try and get attention, basically a publicity stunt.
Let's get one thing straight. You is up and can't get booked nowhere, so y'all trying to play these stupid ass kumbaya game, making fake flyers, trying to get people to think that we cool, and shit ain't sweet on this end. Ain't now on the same motherfucking flyers as me at all. You know what I'm saying? If you really booked on a motherfucking flyer, show your contracts. Everybody gotta have contracts when you getting paid for a show, or you doing free show. If you was on the show, why the did you walk through the front of the building? Everybody know when you're an artist, you walk through the back of the building. So why the did you walk through the front of it if you own the show? Man, come on, man, you playing games, man. Ain't nobody want even around the vicinity of the venue when you trying to pull up. Out of all the shows we've been doing in Dallas, we do shows all across Dallas, Fort Worth, all this shit. Why the f would you go to the one that's in Frisco when you know they're gonna have a whole bunch of police for you can be safe? You so focused on trying to ride my wave and trying to look at my motherfucking pocket, you can't do your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all that publicity, it's not gonna get you nowhere. You trying to come up off gimmicks. That's why you can't come up, because gimmicks don't last long. That's why ain't what y'all couldn't. The whole city know you asshole. The whole city know you. All y'all want to do is pull publicity stunts. Ain't about you solid, man. That's why you can't get past. Cause you trying to come up out gimmicks instead of being authentic with the. You trying to watch what's going on over here. Mad at the paper, man. I ain't worried. What the f I'm gonna worry about? Who trying to do free shows? I just got 70,000 this week off shows. I done made 70 this week off shows. So why the f am I worried about who trying to do shows for free?
Trapboy Freddy would also take to social media to call Mo3's arrest a publicity stunt.
A publicity stunt. Oh, look at the fire. I want to be relevant. Don't. Hey, let me be with them looking at over there. Hey, you ain't one of us. Shit on the other side. I really don't think you went to jail today. Me personally, I don't think you went to jail. But if you did for trespassing, whatever, man, come on, man, suck it up, man. Go burn out. That's a misdemeanor, bro.
2 days after that incident, a clip would be posted to Vlad TV where Vlad asks Yella about the beef with Mo3, with Yella claiming to have no idea who Mo3 is, also denying having ever heard Mo3's diss song 219.
After we did the interview with you, I interviewed Mo3.
Who?
Mo3.
I don't know who that is. Where you from?
I think he's from the same place you're from. Same area.
Dallas?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Never heard of him?
I know everybody from my city making noise.
Well, Mo3 dropped a song called 219. Some people say it's a diss song towards you.
I ain't never heard it.
Clearly Mo3 was still feeling sore about what had happened at the venue, and no doubt Yella denying his existence only angered him more. So the following day, on July the 30th, 2019, Mo3 releases a music video for the track Let Me Find Out, where he appeared to go at Yella directly, referencing being ejected from that concert where they were both supposed to play together, suggesting that the police recommended he leave due to Beezy not wanting him there, with Mo3 suggesting that he had lied to police, saying that he was friends with Beezy to try and get in the venue, and saying that he plans to shoot every diamond off his teeth, as well as once again referencing that shooting on the highway, and lyrics suggesting that Beezy had told his team that he wasn't going to the show if Mo3 was there, alleging that his manager had called and said that it wouldn't be safe. And he would even say on the outro of the track that the promoter had asked if it was okay to put Mo3 and Beezy on the same show, with Mo3 suggesting that he had no problem with it, and suggesting that the promoter had asked Beezy whether they could be in the same venue together, alleging Beezy had said that he doesn't want to be within 50 feet of Mo3. The day this track dropped, Go Yayo would take to Facebook to diss Mo3, and at some point Mo3 would take to IG Live once again to rant about his recent beefs in the city for close to an hour. First off, rebuffing claims that his arrest at the Ford Center was a publicity stunt, and saying that everybody will owe him an apology after he exposes the facts on live.
Always it's a publicity stunt. If you was one of them in the comments before I'm finna expose this, please apologize to me after this.
He would go on to show a flyer and an Instagram post confirming that he was indeed booked for the show.
Who I was on the phone with? I was on the phone with Unruly Citizens. That's who, you know, the concert at the Ford Center. Unruly. Let me show you how, man. So, you know, Unruly. There they go. Unruly.
Mo3 would explain that there were 4 promoters, and that one of the 4 promoters claimed that Beezy had called them and said that he doesn't want Mo3 to be there.
You got a couple members of Unruly. It's like a group of them. At first, you had 3 of them saying, okay, cool, it's good for the show. And then you got this one saying, man, I don't like saying he rapping. Man, I don't know if that's a good idea, man. Us calling us saying they don't want to be on the show with them and whoop and all this, and, you know, we don't want to, we done already paid them and stuff, and, you know, we're just now adding you on. They just added me on. They did. I'm already doing shows.
Mo3 claimed to have told the promoters that there was no beef between him and Yella Beezy, with them saying that Beezy told them that there was beef, and that Mo3 had asked them to put Beezy on the phone, which they wouldn't do.
Now, I don't got no beef with no rapper. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about no rap beef. I don't have that. Sir, what you talking about? Man, he said that y'all got a problem. He said that. Let me talk to him. Put him on the phone. Nah, we can't do that. Man, just put us on the phone, man. This business. I ain't got no rap beef.
Mo3 went on to say that he thought he was booked for the show, even saying that Future, one of the headliners, shared the flyer with Mo3's name on it publicly, suggesting that they only deleted the flyers mentioning Mo3 after the event had taken place without Mo.
So I told the promoter, I'm good. I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Book me, I'm gonna do my shit. I don't know nothing about no rap beef. So he was like, man, 3, you for real? I'm like, bro, I'm for real, bro. All my kids. How y'all think I got on this show? Is y'all at y'all mind? Did y'all really think I just popped up out of somewhere? I was promoted on the radio, billboard ads, in hold on, Future even posted me. Future, you can't, if y'all don't believe me, Future page, when he promoted the shows, they waited till y'all was saying, they waited till the internet started saying he wasn't even on the show. They was like, oh, bet, the internet think he wasn't even on the show. Let us hurry up and go delete all the promotion we did of him. So I'm looking like, they deleted it. Guess what? I recorded it. Future. This Future page. This, watch this. See, they wasn't too quick on their feet. Look,
This Future page. Future, Wednesday at 9:23. Who named that say at the bottom? Oh, apologize to me, y'all. Say sorry, Mo3. So Future lying about me being on this show. This Future page. This is real page. Say sorry, Mo3.
Mo3 would go on to say that he felt like the venue and the promoters finessed him, even going as far as to play a recording of the promoter supposedly telling Mo3 he was all clear to perform.
And then they called me back 2 days later and said, okay, we made up our mind, you can get on. You think I'm lying? Guess what? Y'all recording it! Let's let the game begin. They called me at 11:50 in the morning. Listen, and this is what they told me. They said, okay, we all came to an agreement. You can get on the show again. I'm like, so I told you I ain't tripping with the rapper. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about that rap beef. I'm steady saying that. I'm hollering at this whole time. Hello? What's going on?
Alright, Mo3, this is Zay for Unruly Citizen. You know, how your vibe is ready for Saturday. You know, we just want to make sure that we have a good show, like we don't have, you know, anything extra.
Listen. Yeah, nah, we good. Let me run it back. He said, I just want to let you know, I hope you're ready for Saturday. I hope you have a good show. Yeah, nah, we good. I'm Gucci. I'm just ready to rock out, do my thing.
We're not trying to, like, escalate any situation. We just want to put on a good show for our first event here with the Cowboys, you know? I'm on the same page as y'all. We just want to speak to the people directly so we can feel comfortable, because obviously we see what you can do in a good crowd, so that's going to help our show. So we just want to make sure everybody's safe because it's a very suburban show.
Listen, did you hear what he said? He said, obviously, you're very good at what you do. We would love to have you on the show. You can bring in a crowd, and it's going to help our show. A show that y'all said I wasn't on. Y'all better apologize to me, bro. Y'all hurt my feelings. This is the who run the show.
We're not going to take you off the show.
Listen, we're not going to take you off the show. Did you hear what the promoter said? Tell me sorry. Stop playing with me. Tell me sorry.
Mo3 would go on to say that the police outside the venue told him that Yella Beezy specifically claimed he didn't feel safe with Mo3 in the venue.
I'm confused why I'm handcuffed. I'm confused why y'all violate me. I'm an artist, sir. I'm verified, sir. Sir, what you doing, sir? I'm supposed to be here, sir. Your show has been canceled. When, sir? I don't know nothing about that. When did they cancel the show? When? He got me in the car and said, you had beef with a rapper. I don't have beef with no rapper. Well, that's what him and his team is saying. Him and his team are telling us that they don't want to be near you. Why? What's going to happen in Frisco?
Mo3 would then address Yella Beezy's DJ Vlad interview, where he said that he didn't know who he was just the day before this, with Mo3 saying rather menacingly, how are you going to say you don't know me when you felt me?
Why you get on Vlad TV talking about you don't know me? When you don't felt me, you get what I'm saying? But come on, man, you felt my presence before, sir. I didn't act like I didn't know you, sir. I said he's a good rapper.
Mo3 then proceeded to mock Yella Beezy for telling Vlad he doesn't know him, but telling the police all about their business.
You know what you could have did? You could have told him like me, it wasn't no smoke, and then they would have let us get in there. We would have been in the same. You ain't gonna do that, did you? Nah, you ain't gonna do that. I know. It's okay. I ain't mad at you. I am mad at you. Nah, I ain't mad at you. I'm just playing with you. You made me look like a liar. You made me look like a liar to the cops, man. Because I sit up there and I was trying to, keep it real and say that it was not any beef, because I don't even know anything about no beef. And you went right over there with your little light skin and you told those folks it was some smoke. You told those folks you cannot be by me. Sir, you were sweating, sir. They told me, sir, you were sweating, sir. Sir, I would have loved to see you sweat.
Now, to be fair, Mo3 does kind of go on to contradict himself here, playing a call that apparently shows the promoter telling him that he was being taken off the show because of his gang ties.
Mo3, we gotta put you off the show. I say, what? What you mean you gotta put me off the show? Because you're a gang member. I said, isn't whatchamacallit a Crip? I said, do you have something against Bloods? I didn't know it was illegal to be a gang member. As long as you're not doing gang member crimes, it's okay. You have the freedom of speech and the freedom to represent whatever you want to represent. You know, they got Ku Klux Klan out here. 50 Cent was gangbanging once upon a time. He's successful. Sir, I'm not comprehending Lil Wayne. I always say, so woo. He's successful. Y'all think I'm lying? They said I could cook because I was a gang member. Guess what? I recorded it. The Dallas gang. Oh, gang unit police. Yeah, call them. Listen, he said the Dallas gang unit police called them and said, y'all have gang members on y'all show. And they said, who? And I guess I'm the only gang member. So they had to take me off, but I thought whatchamacallit was a 6-0 neighborhood crip. Right? That don't, come on, man. Y'all got something against them banner hoes? Oh, 282. Oh, but he over there talking about neighborhood, let the seas lie. But I'm the only gang member. This that put both of us on the show. These facts. Y'all ain't gonna make me look bad. What, I'm lying for? Clout chasing for what?
And after some bounty hunter blood banging on the phone, Mo3 would claim that after his arrest, he managed to get the promoter to admit that it was Yella Beezy who didn't want him in the show, not the gang unit.
Mo3. So, but you just said they said they got all them gang members. Why I'm the only gang member that gotta be taken out? How they just gonna call me a gang member? I'm not blaming nothing on the police. Listen, this him. Mo3 on the show. Is it good? Don't blame nothing on the police all the time. Stop that. Don't do that. I'm not blaming nothing on the police officer. What I'm trying to tell you is that on Wednesday. Hold on. No. I understand it. Listen, a rapper and his management felt like it was a bad idea. True or false? Watch me get quiet. Hello? Yeah. Listen. He didn't want to listen. All this was a bad idea. Don't stop blaming the police. All this is going on. All this commotion caused up. I'm going to jail because a rapper is getting on your by letting me on the show because he feared for his mother safety. How many times did you tell me that? And I said, why would he fear for his safety? I can't do nothing up here.
In the end, Mo3 spoke his piece and seemingly proved to the world that he was at least booked for the show at some point, rather than the whole thing being a publicity stunt. But at the same time, it does sound like he kind of knew he wasn't entirely welcome when he turned up at the venue. And even denying that all of this was for publicity, the promotion and subsequent Instagram live rant was indeed good publicity for Mo3. And despite Mo3 claiming time and time again that he could have been in the same venue with Yella Beezy without any drama, we all know that's not true. And from here on out, it would only take a couple of months before Mo3 and his ops would indeed find themselves at the same venue. And unsurprisingly, it all popped off. Following on from Mo3 being rejected from the concert at the Ford Center where Yella Beezy performed, he would continue to have back and forths with his biggest rival on social media. On October the 2nd, he appeared in a Say Cheese interview where he jokingly suggested that he might be willing to settle the beef in a celebrity boxing match, echoing Roy Lee's earlier sentiments.
Celebrity boxing, man, you understand me? Three versus whatchamacallit, T Diddy, knock T Diddy out third round. You get what I'm saying? Boom, he ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then whatchamacallit, just the icing on the cake. You know, that's really what they want to see. They don't want to see T Diddy. You get what I'm saying? Like them facts. You get what I'm saying? Like the T Diddy, the backup dancer, we're gonna get him out first. Let him come out, do his dance around the ring, woo, scoop him up, he out there.
Despite saying that he would knock them out in the ring, Mo3 would go on to say in a less joking manner that it's possible he could have squashed the beef had he been allowed backstage at the Ford Center that day.
Could it have been squashed that day? It could have been squashed probably. You get what I'm saying? When the promoter said, hey, do you think you can be on the same show as whatchamacallit? Duh. What are you talking about, bro? I do 1,000 shows. Ain't no man gonna stop me from not getting on stage. You get what I'm saying?
Later in August, Yella Beezy's full DJ Vlad interview would drop, where he would discuss the tollway shooting, telling Vlad that he would not forgive the shooter, even going as far as to say that if his shooter apologized to him, they wouldn't make it out of the building because Beezy wants his get back.
Now, you not finna come and try to say, I'm the that shot you and think you finna walk away. I'm gonna get my lick back.
Also in the interview, Beezy would discuss his monster jewelry collection, suggesting that at this point in his career, he has 7 figures at least in ice alone.
Would you say you have $1 million in jewelry at this point?
Sure.
Clearly, Beezy was doing very well for himself off of shows. In fact, do you remember when Mo3 didn't get let into the concert and Yella Beezy went on that rant where he said that Mo3 gets no bookings and makes no money and bragged about all the money he was making from shows?
Don't be worried about nothing. I done make 70 plus this week out shows, man. How the can I worry about another? I do this every week. I'm good for 3 shows a week, including after parties. So you add that up. How the am I gonna even have the knowledge or even try to have the time to motherfucker pay attention to another? How? Bitch, I'm getting to some money. I ain't worried about you.
Well, clearly these words got in Mo3's head, because after Yella Beezy's DJ Vlad interview, Mo3 would be seen on social media spending $90,000 in jewelry, seemingly proving to the world that he's not short of money.
Yeah, man. That's how we connect. Come on, man. Come here. Come here, man. Hey, man. Get that. That drip. That drip, man. Get that drip. Oh, yeah. That way. That way. Get my boy. Get my boy. Let him know what we doing. I know it. That's a wrap.
60 for the watch, 30 for the chain.
Later that month, Mo3 would appear on No Jumper, where Adam22 asked Mo3 what it would take for the beef to settle down, with Mo3 echoing Roy Lee, saying that he wants to fight his ops in the ring for money and settle things that way.
Would be able to like sit down and sort it out. You suggested a boxing match in your Say Cheese interview.
Yeah, look. I just want to punch him down if it's some beef. I still don't know nothing about this beef. I'm not no boxer, but I'll punch him down. You get what I'm saying? It's like, just to shut everybody up. Punch them down, we punch it out for some money, and we get the money to charity, you know what I'm saying? Give them to the kids. You know, the kids gonna love to see they hometown rappers scratch.
Smoke it out.
They gonna smoke it out in the gloves.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And once they do that, after I beat they turn around and get them kids their money. You get what I'm saying?
Seemingly in response to this, Yella Beezy posted on his Instagram saying that he can't wait to punch Mo3. And unfortunately, only a few weeks after this, yet another confrontation between Mo3 and Freddie taking place at the CME merch shop would be leaked on video. As on the 26th of September, Freddie would share surveillance video allegedly showing Mo3 arriving to the store once again looking for a fight, with someone shouting in Mo3's face backed up by another man, allegedly Freddie holding what looks to be an assault rifle, with Freddie suggesting that this was the very day that Mo3's Roam Free pass was revoked. Mo3 would reply to this, mocking Freddie for standing there with a gun in his hand, whilst Mo3 himself was there, shirt off, ready to fight, and once again suggesting that this video had also been selectively edited. Mo3 would then take to Instagram, posting a video of him reacting to the footage and claiming that he came there unarmed to fight like a man.
It's so friendly, foul. Look at this video. I'm shirt off in your hood at your store. Telling you, put that man, I'm gonna beat you up, knock you out. And all your partners was around there. All your partners which I'm at your store, in your hood, on Sanger, at your store, next to the motherfucking lunchroom. Shirt off. Look in the video, I'm in his face, shirt off. Put that strap down, I'm gonna knock your out. He did it. He ain't never put that, come on now, ain't no damn fool. I don't wanna punch him too hard and he sued the Don't forget the fact, y'all, I came to his hood at his store. My shirt, you see my shirt off and my shorts on, no strap in my hand. I could have bought a strap. Why I won't do all that, man? It's broad daylight. Why I won't do all that? I came to punch on you, know, just a little bit, and that was gonna be it. This got tough with this big gun in hand. You ain't even shoot the. You're never supposed to draw down on a person, sir, if you're not gonna, you know.
Mo3 would go on to say that the footage was 2 years ago and that he hasn't seen Freddie without a gun since, even questioning why Freddie didn't shoot him that day.
2 years ago. I ain't seen that since then without that gun. That's the video I was talking about. He still keep editing it up. Question the other day. How you let her come to your store? It's your store, on your block, check you, tell you fight. You draw down with a big AR and let them leave and then shoot them and nothing happened to them? Hold on, so I came to your block at your store, made your come outside, told you scratch. You drew down with an AR and you let them leave? Ah, come on, man. I hope y'all ain't glorifying the fact that this had a strap and didn't want to scratch. It ain't like we seen each other somewhere else. I pulled up. That's what you call pull. I pulled up. I came to where he at. And you let him leave. You let me leave. You drew down this big ass gun for nothing. Let me leave because you didn't want to punch it out and get your knocked out. That's what the camera was going to show you. Get your knocked out. You didn't want that, did you? You got a reputation of hoe.
Clearly, Mo3 was looking for Freddie to engage in a fist fight rather than a gunfight, and the following month he would finally get what he was looking for, because at the 2019 Dallas State Fair in October, there was an altercation where Trap Boy Freddie allegedly caught Mo3's manager Brandon Rainwater blacking at the fair and started a mass brawl. Grainy footage would later surface of the incident, which is too violent to show you on YouTube, but it would purport to show somebody being sucker punched before a mass brawl broke out in the middle of the fair, with it being suggested that the person who was initially rushed and punched being Brandon Rainwater himself. Following the supposed fight, Trap Boy Freddie would post from the fair telling Mo3 that his partner was getting beaten up.
You better get to the fire, your partner's already getting the
And sometime later, Freddie would post saying just how happy he was to finally punch someone with his big rings.
Oh, I finally got to hit it with the mother rings. Yes, sir. Finally got to give me one. About to have a 9th grade knockout. That's fun to me, man.
At this point, it really seemed like there would be no backing down, and that Dallas simply wasn't big enough for all of these street rappers to coexist peacefully. And so, only a few weeks after this exchange would come the final chapter in Mo3's story, as he would ultimately wind up losing his life, ironically, in the very same way that Yella Beezy nearly lost his life only a few years before.